So having understood the light requirement of your plant and that of your house, let us move to the next step, that is understanding the other basics. I'm talking about the pot, or how should the soil mix be, or what is the correct way to water the plant. Let us begin with the selection of a pot. Lots of pots are available: plastic, ceramic, cement, terracotta. Though the preferred one is the terracotta, the material allows the roots to breathe. But if you do not get difficult to get this, you can even go for a plastic pot. What is most important is the holes below. That is the most important factor to be checked when you are purchasing the pot. Also, that your pot and the plant should be in proportion. If it's a big pot with a small plant in it, the plant will get lost. Or if it's a small pot and a big plant, the plant will get suffocated. So be mindful about that. If you have a pot, like a pot which does not have a hole below, say something like this, but I want to use this pot, the best way would be simply place another pot into it, so that even the plant is happy and so you are. Now, after the pot, let us talk about the soil. I will keep it very simple. Use any red soil or the soil that is available in your area. One portion of that soil, coco peat. Now, what is coco peat? Coco peat is dehydrated coconut husk, which comes as a brick. You simply add water and the coco peat is ready. Now, what does this coco peat do? It holds water, hence it keeps the soil moist, and also it helps in good drainage. So, equal portion of coco peat as your soil. And the third part that we are going to add is the compost. Now, what does the compost do? The compost gives nutrients to the soil. It can be any organic compost, like the vermicompost, or if you do composting at home, you can use that, or any organic compost that is available. Equal amount of the organic compost. Your soil mix is ready, and now this soil can be used for any plant, be it a foliage plant or a flowering plant or a fruit plant. This soil is perfect for all. Do not go into too much details about the soil. A simple whatever is available in your area would be ideal, and this soil mix of 1 part is perfect. Now from the soil we move to watering. Now let's understand watering the plants. More often than not, we kill our plants by either overwatering or underwatering. I will share simple tips that will be a simple guideline for you as to when to water your plants. Put your finger to the soil, and if the soil sticks to your finger, this is an indication that the plant doesn't need water as of now. You can wait for some more time. When your finger comes out clean, it means the soil is dry and you need to water. When to water? House plants, it does not matter much. You can water either in the morning or the evening, it's fine. And now, how to water? I use a watering can for my indoor plants. Water it enough that the water drains out from the bottom holes. That will ensure that the water has reached the roots. If you do not have access to a watering can, a simple way could be using a PET bottle with holes on top, and that also works well to water. If you once in a while you could spray water from top, ensuring that the leaves are also washed. One thing to take care of here is sometimes when we water with the spray and the upper layer of the soil gets wet, please do not confuse that the plant has received the water. No, it's just the upper layer that has got water, and it's the roots that are going to be taking water from the soil. Hence, the can works. The spray is good to mist the leaves or to spray your fertilizer. When you're watering your succulents, simply be mindful that you water it when the soil dries completely. Succulents are desert plants, hence they do not like too much of water. So even after you touch the soil and it seems dry, let it dry and then water it completely, ensuring that the water flows out from the bottom, and then you can wait for say 4 to 5 days and water it again. Now, having talked about the pot and the soil and watering and fertilizer, some basic gardening tips that I would like to share with you. Keep rotating your plant once in a while so that it will ensure good growth, overall good growth. Otherwise, only the part which is facing the light will be growing. Once in a while, dig the upper layer of the soil, taking care that it does not hurt the roots. Just the upper 1 to 2 inch is good enough. This will ensure good aeration to the roots. Do not water the day you have given a dig to the soil. Let us talk about how do you keep your plants insect free or pest free. The most simple and easiest way is to give a neem oil spray. Have a neem oil, add it to a spray bottle. Just a few drops would be good enough, and add some soap solution. This neem oil solution works if there is any bug or fungus on your plant. Shake it and it's ready to be used. You can use it for your flowering plants or to the vegetables if you are growing. Simply spray on the leaves once in a while or as and when required, but it's an essential. After covering all the basics, let me talk about the few gardening tools which are an essential. A sharp scissor to prune and cut the plants. These spades are good when you have to dig the soil. In case you have too many plants, go for big ones, and while handling the smaller ones, you can use the small one. A hand rake, which also comes handy to dig the soil. I hope this covers and clears all your doubts about bringing a plant home and taking care of it.